Good morning, everyone. Hi. My name is Menachem Creditor. I serve as scholar in residence for UJ, Federation of New York. Every weekday we come to you bringing some Torah, some inspiration, a little bit of music, and a sense of community, being bound up with each other. And it's Shabbat. It's going to be Shabbat tonight. Isn't that awesome? So we are blessed to be together again. I think I'll do another counting next time, how many broadcasts we've had, but what an unbelievable delight it is to be together. I have the ability, again, to look into your faces by seeing who's here, but it's going to be a little bit awkward because I'm looking up and down. So all I'll say is, Merm, hi, Mark, it's good to be together. I see a whole bunch of friends, Judy, Amy. It's good. It's good. It's going to be Shabbos. I have been helped along by having these kinds of rituals, and I hope you have too. What is it to have this new world that we are inhabiting that gives us the chance to mark time and expect things? So I'll tell you, there's this one thing that I've been doing on Fridays, which is wearing a white shirt. Now, when I go to shul, I typically wear, a shirt. But when I used to go to Camp Ramah, and this would have been my 30th summer in a row, going to Camp Ramah. So we're going to find a way to still be a camp community over the summer. Everyone would wear a white shirt. And there was something really beautiful about having that kind of connectivity. Shara, Lisa, hi. Jeff, good morning. Hi, Pam. So anyway, I'm wearing a white shirt, and even though that seems, I think, really on the surface, there's something that it does to me when I put it on. And so, who knows, maybe there's a way for you to mark Shabbat, even in subtle ways, that will get your head and heart tuned in to the fact that it's going to be Shabbos. What a beautiful thing that is. So, let's start the day with a bracha. Hi, Noam. Nice to see you. Hi, Uncle Alex. All right. It's your chance to sing loud. So, over the week we've been sharing really deep pieces of Torah and deep reflections on the world we inhabit. It would be wrong, I think, for us to see Torah as detached from the world. We do not stand as students of the sacred, as connected to our faith and to our people, because we separate ourselves from the world. In fact, what charges us as a people is our commitment to a just world. We are told that the world stands on three things, and there are different versions of which three things they are, but justice is certainly central and pivotal to the world being sustained. So what I want to do is frame a thought with the Parsha, recognizing that applying it requires our own commitment. It's not the text telling us that we must feel a certain way. It's us recognizing the possibilities within the text and the commitments of our moral courage. So in this week's Parsha, which is Naso, I've shared before, it's the longest Torah portion in the entire Torah. There are three major parts, at least the way that I see it. One of them is the Sotah ordeal, where a woman is suspected by her husband of having committed adultery. She was secluded with a man, and no one saw what happened. The husband is in a jealous rage, and he has the authority in the Torah's time to compel her to go through a very, very awful ordeal. There are incredibly important reinterpretations of that ordeal, but it doesn't make the Torah's context palatable by modern moral standards. I don't judge the Torah for not being written in 2020, but applying the Torah's literal meaning in 2020 would be wrong. So too, the middle of the Parsha includes a section on the Nazir, someone who takes a vow to abstain from a series of things, in a sense trying to elevate himself above even the high priest's position. And I'll talk about that in a moment. And the third section is about the Nasi, is about sort of the head of the community and the conduct that she or he is called to comport themselves with. In fact, one of the most important things that we see at the end of the Parsha is that the leader is presumed by the Torah to be making mistakes. Whoever you are as a leader, you're going to make mistakes. And if you've ever served as a leader, and by the way, inevitably you do. If leadership is the influence we have over someone else, then you're a leader. And inevitably, you make mistakes because you're a human being, just like me, and just like everyone. A leader is called to be publicly accountable and to apologize for what they've done wrong in specific ways. Okay. Those are the three big chunks. I want to look at the Nazir, the middle, for just a moment. Because even though the Torah says a person can take upon themselves a vow to abstain from certain things and be a Nazir. So what do they abstain from? They abstain from alcohol or any grape product. They abstain from even trimming their hair, which is interesting because if you look at the two things, the high priest isn't required to abstain at all times from grape products or alcohol, and is not required to cut all their hair, but is told to trim their hair because their public presentation matters. As a leader, you comport yourself not only with moral authority, but take care of yourself. The Nazir does not. But there's one additional thing that the Nazir holds back from that I wanted to point out. The Nazir vows not to go near anyone who is dead. Now the high priest is also told not to go near the dead, with exceptions, his family. The Nazir takes the vow, which is not inherited, chose to take the vow, and won't go near any dead body. Why is that important for us to think about today? And I might share this at 2 o'clock today when we go live with local rabbis and leaders for the New York Jewish community and everybody else who would like. Because we are not a Nazir kind of community. The rabbis actually don't like the Nazir at all for thinking that he could be even holier than the Kohen, who's called to those restrictions. The Nazir, by choice, removes herself or himself from the community and will not go near death. So let me point out, at least for me, the obvious application here. Death does happen in this world, sometimes very unjustly. George Floyd was not alone this week as a black person who was senselessly killed, murdered. Now, not only black people are killed senselessly, but the phenomenon and the ongoing trend of this incredible travesty to justice and a defamation of God's holy image. Are we going to be a Nazir about this? Or are we going to turn our eyes away from death when it happens? Obviously not. We're not called to abstain from life, to abstain from the obligation to be part of a larger, just society. The world stands on a few things, and one of them is justice. Some of us, because of the world we are in, and I don't blame anyone for needing just a little bit of space from all of the heavy headlines. I don't. But we are not allowed to choose not life. We are told in the Torah over and over, choose life. In order to choose life, I can't only choose it for myself. So what I want to ask us to do today and over Shabbos, for the rest of our lives, with an increasing pace, is to think long and hard about what choosing life means when we really mean it. We are not a Nazir. We don't hoard life and holiness for the individual. That's not how it works. Because God's image is not exclusively mine, nor my family's, nor my people's. It is all people's. Abram Joshua Heschel famously taught once that the reason why we are told in the Ten Commandments not to create a graven image of God is not because you can't. It's because it's been done. There is an image of God. You. And George. And everybody. So may we remember how much we are called into life and how obligated and empowered we are to bring justice to this world. I know that no matter how much progress we make, there will be progress to continue making. But as tradition tells us, Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. You're not expected to finish the job. V'lo ata ben chori lihibatel mimena. You're not allowed to say, oh, it's too big, I can't even get started. Let's get started. And if you've already started, let's do more. And if you've already done more, let's do more. And let's do more together. I'm proud of the stance that UJA Federation has taken. I'm proud of the countless Jewish organizations and interfaith organizations and other kinds of organizations and human beings who in this intense context have found a way to make our commitment to each other felt, heard, and to call out the violence that is disrupting peaceful protests, and to recognize that a Nazir wouldn't do this, which means we're not going to take a vow to stay away from it, just because it's hard and it's heavy. We are called to take one more step into the breach. And please God, we'll remember that that's not a one-time call. Let's sing our way into Shabbos. Can't wait to see you soon. Take care, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.